All right, Living Environment Bellringer fans, I'm sorry to report I'm not in the office today, but I'm giving you lots of stuff to do as usual when I have to be somewhere else during our school day. But we're going to focus on karyotypes. If you have lab, you're going to do the Karyotype Lab today. If you had lab yesterday, you started, and hopefully you'll have some time to finish that today. All right, let's do the Bellringer.
All right.
Hey now.
Mr. Kovacs class. It's Mr. Kovacs class. You might learn a ton. It's Mr. Kovacs class.
He's interested too.
It's Mr. Kovacs class. And he's super cool. It's Mr. Kovacs class.
All right, let's talk chromosomes. All right, you guys know by now chromosomes are long, bundled up. Right, you take DNA and you bundle it up, but they're only bundled at a specific time. That's during, yeah, that's right, during mitosis, but also during meiosis. And meiosis, we've learned, is where you go from one cell, and it copies once and divides twice, and you get 4 daughter cells, but they are not identical to the first cell you started with. They are, we call them gametes. They only have half the DNA, half the instructions, right? And then, let's see. Some folks produce the small gamete. We call them sperm makers. Some produce the large gamete. We call those, that's right, they make eggs. And then if 2 gametes fuse together, we call that fertilization. And the new cell has got a mixture of genes from both mom and dad, and we call that a zygote. And then, of course, that zygote's got the full set. In humans have, that's right, humans have 46 chromosomes. All right, so we're gonna look at the chromosomes. Chromosomes come in pairs. So that means chromosomes come in pairs, right? Like, you get one from mom, one from dad. And scientists, extremely creative, they decided to name the chromosome pairs based on their size. So the biggest one is called chromosome 1, and a little itty bitty one is called chromosome 22. And then that leaves the 23rd pair, which is the weird, potentially weird. This is the only pair that may not be the same. Okay, so chromosome 1, there's a ton of genes on it, You get 1 copy from mom, then you get 1 copy from dad. You have 2 copies of chromosome 1. Likewise, you have 2 copies of chromosome 2, and you have 2 copies of chromosome 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, all the way until we get to the last pair where, if you're like this person here, you do not have identical copies of the last pair. What do you have? You've got a chromosome X, and some of you have 2 X's, 1 from mom, 1 from dad. But in this case, this person got a chromosome X from mom, and from dad got a chromosome Y. So they're XY, and that means they're going to be sperm makers. XX is usually egg makers, and XYs usually come out to be sperm makers, right? So when 2 individuals have an offspring, right, mom will give either the X or the other X. She's going to give an X no matter what. It's dad who determines the gender of the baby, because his sperm is either going to be carrying an X or it's going to be carrying a Y. All right? Now, if you had lab yesterday, you're going to see a little bit of the review of what we did yesterday. If you have lab today, here's your instructions. Open up the Karyotyping Lab for today. You'll see there's a PDF, and basically what you're going to do is you're going to do a couple of karyotypes. You're going to get a squash of 2 different parents. So I want each lab group to do 2 parents. Like, this is Mr. and Mrs. Neil Montana. This is the squash of chromosomes of the zygote of their newborn baby, or soon to be born baby. And you're going to take those chromosomes, you're going to cut them out with scissors. Then you're going to pair them up by size, and you're going to line them up on this chromosome worksheet, the karyotype form, by size. 1 being the biggest, 2 being next, 3, etc. And you're going to tape them down where they need to go. And all those instructions are in your for today. Those of you who had lab yesterday, I left your folder with your work in it. It's right here. So you can finish that up in class today. I would finish the lab first and then do today's ed puzzle. All right, so do Bellringer, and then you're gonna work on chromosome X, and then I have an assignment about chromosome X. Then I'd start the lab, or finish the lab, and then ed puzzle. All right, have a good one.